Hello, everyone. Welcome to our training session for creating responsibility on YouTube during elections. We at YouTube dedicate significant time and resources to establish and refine the policies and systems that effectively connect people to trustworthy and high quality information. The three main takeaways that we would like you to walk away with are as following: our always on efforts to ensure a responsible platform, as well as specific election policies and efforts, including new requirements around AI generated content, how to build your channel into an elections hub for the campaign and beyond, how we enforce community guidelines, copyright, and ad friendly guidelines. Our platform wide approach is to employ our 4 R's responsibility framework. We remove content that violates our community guidelines, including election content. We raise high quality election news and information from authoritative sources in search results and recommendations. We reduce the spread of harmful election misinformation. We reward trusted creators via the YouTube Partner Program. Our policies apply to everyone and are enforced with consistency regardless of the political viewpoints expressed, the language the content is in, or how the content is generated. YouTube's community guidelines provide clear guidance on what is not allowed on the platform, and we remove content that violates these policies. As the YouTube community grows, so does our responsibility to protect our users, creators, partners, and the greater YouTube community from bad actors and harmful behavior. The intent is not to disenfranchise the YouTube community, but rather to protect and enable it to grow responsibility. Since with platform growth comes increased responsibility. These policies are in place to protect that growth and to make sure that we don't disenfranchise creators by allowing monetization of copied works, spammy policies, etc. Our community guidelines are a key part of a broader suite of policies and are regularly updated in consultation with outside experts and YouTube creators to keep pace with emerging challenges. Many of the community guidelines that we apply across the platform are relevant to civics and election related content. Content that threatens individuals, such as election workers, candidates, or voters, is not allowed under our harassment and cyberbullying policies. Content that promotes violence or hatred against individuals or groups based on certain attributes isn't allowed under our hate speech policies. This includes, for example, content that shows a political rally, attendee dehumanizing a group based on a protected attribute such as race, sexual orientation, etc. Content that encourages others to commit violent acts, including acts targeting election workers, candidates, or voters, or content intended to shock or disgust viewers, is also not allowed under our violent and graphic content policies. Our misinformation policies cover two categories of content: manipulated content, which prohibits content that has been technically manipulated or doctored in a way that misleads users and may pose a serious risk. The second category is misattributed content. This content may pose a serious risk by falsely claiming that old footage from a past event is from a current event and is not allowed under our misinformation policy. For example, a video that shows a head of state condoning a violent conflict that he or she never actually condoned will be misattributed content and will not be allowed under our policies. Additionally, content that's intended to impersonate a person or channel, such as a political candidate or their political party, is not allowed under our impersonation policy. Our spam, deceptive practices, and scams policies prohibit misleading content meant to take advantage of YouTube users. Content that contains external links to material that would violate our policies and can cause serious risk and harm, like misleading or deceptive content related to an election, hate speech targeting protected groups, harassment towards election workers, is not allowed under our external links policies. This can include clickable URLs, verbally directing users to other site in a video, and other forms of link sharing. Having understood about our policies, let's move on to how the community guidelines strike system works. When a channel receives its first violation for a policy, the channel will receive a warning. This is because we do understand that mistakes happen and people do not mean to violate our policies. This warning will stay on the channel unless the channel successfully appeals the warning or the channel takes and completes an educational training course which will lift the warning from their channel, provided that the channel does not violate the same policy for 90 days. When a channel gets its first strike within 90 days of the warning, or if the warning was not removed because the educational training course was not completed, this will result in 1 week freeze on the ability to upload any new content to YouTube. This also includes live streaming and other channel activities. Upon receiving its second strike within 90 days, the channel will receive a 2 week freeze on the ability to upload any new content onto YouTube. After receiving a third strike in any 90-day period, the channel and associated accounts will be terminated. It is very important to note that sometimes a single case of severe abuse could result in channel termination without warning. We would also highlight that there has been an update on our community guidelines warning system. Previously, all channels receive a lifetime warning for their first violation. Now, channels have the option to take the educational training when they receive a warning. If they don't receive another violation within 90 days of completing the training, the warning will expire. The benefits of doing the education training include potentially removing the current warning. And if you receive another violation, but in a different policy for the first one, you will start with a warning instead jumping straight to the first strike. Okay, so that was information on what to do if you get a strike. However, if you receive a strike, there is an option available for you to submit an appeal which will be reviewed by a human reviewer. Let's take a quick look of how you can appeal a community guideline strike. If you think your content does not violate the community guidelines or perhaps was removed in error, you can make your appeal directly in YouTube Studio. However, please do make sure that you review the policy related to the strike first to be certain. If you are choosing to appeal, select the violation card in your dashboard on YouTube Studio, which will open up the violation with more detail, and then select appeal. Please remember that deleting a video will not resolve a strike. If you delete the video that received the strike will actually remain on the channel and you will not be able to appeal again. Here, I would also like to highlight in your appeal, please do submit the necessary information to show your rationale on why you disagree. We also have policies specifically created for elections and other civics related content. These include voter suppression policy that prohibits content aiming to mislead voters about the time, place, means, or eligibility requirements for voting, or false claims that could materially discourage voting. For example, a video telling viewers they can vote through fake methods like texting their vote to a particular number. Candidate eligibility policy prohibits content that advances false claims related to the technical eligibility requirements for current political candidates and sitting elected government officials to serve in office. Incitement to interfere with democratic process prohibits content encouraging others interfering with the process. This includes obstructing or interrupting voting procedures. Moving on to copyright. So, what exactly is copyright and why is it important? Copyright is important as it affects everyone, even when we are not realizing it. By creating a piece of work, for example, taking a picture or making a YouTube video, we engage with the copyright law. Copyright law works protects instantly as soon as they are created. There is no need to take any affirmative steps or register the work to get copyright protection. Under the law, authors can notify the platforms of unauthorized use of their work. Platforms like YouTube are obliged to remove allegedly infringing content after receiving a notice. And here, I'd like to highlight again that copyright is a system of international law and not a policy or system that is created or governed by YouTube. So, YouTube does not intervene or mediate in any copyright disputes. So, the recommended best practices would be to ensure that you secure the rights to all the elements in your video. For example, music, video clip, pictures, and contact the copyright owners or right holders directly and negotiate for the appropriated licenses for use. Do note that you can also use free music and sound effects from the audio library, which can be used according to the terms specified. So please remember, this is an option as well if you want to use videos in your video, but you're not sure how to check if something is copyrighted or not. Now that you know copyright, you would also want to know how copyright might affect you. So the first scenario is someone copied your content. Here, YouTube provides robust tools in the copyright management suite for right holders to protect their content, and any copyright owner can submit takedown requests. You can submit a takedown request using the web form directly through the YouTube studio. The next scenario could be when you receive a copyright strike. And here, you could use one of the resolution options, such as requesting for a retraction from the claimant, whereby you reach out directly to whoever has submitted the takedown request on your content, or to submit a counter notification if you believe that you are the exclusive rights holder of your content, which can be done through YouTube Studio itself. And then this will be sent directly to the claimant, who will have 10 working days to respond. And if it's your first strike, you will need to complete copyright school. Otherwise, you can do nothing and the strike will expire in 90 days. But we do encourage that you take action on the strike as soon as possible, because if you accumulate 3 strikes within 90 days, the channel could be terminated. The third scenario could be you receive a content ID claim. Here, you could use our tools within YouTube Studio to trim, mute, or replace content that is being claimed. Or you could utilize the dispute and appeal process if you believe that you are the exclusive right holder for your content. Please note, the content ID claim is different from a copyright strike. So please check on your dashboard to see if the notification says copyright strike or content ID claim, as the resolution options would differ accordingly. Let's review what happens when your content comes down. There are 4 possibilities. Content is removed from our site, claim details are provided to replace content, messaging will happen to both the claimant and the uploader, a copyright strikes occurs on the uploader's account. And finally, let's take a look at the strike system for copyright. As mentioned previously, we highly encourage that you always take action on a copyright strike as soon as you receive it, as not taking action and getting 3 copyright strikes within a 90-day video could lead to channel termination. And once the channel is terminated for copyright, the strikes don't expire. However, if the channel is already terminated, you can still either seek retraction or submit a counter notification. If your strikes are resolved through retraction or your counter notifications are successfully forwarded, your channel will be reinstated. If your channel is in YouTube Partner Program, you are eligible for a 7-day courtesy period after 3 copyright strikes before your channel is disabled. So, the termination is not immediate. During this period, you will not be able to upload new videos, but your channel will remain live and you will be able to access it to seek a resolution for your strikes. And last but not the least, we would also like to mention that live streaming is also subject to copyright, and all live streams are scanned for matches for third party content, including copyrighted content. in the form of another live broadcast. Challenges posed by generative AI have been an ongoing area of focus for YouTube, but we know AI introduces new risks that bad actors may try to exploit during an election. AI can be used to generate content that has the potential to mislead viewers, particularly if they are unaware that the video has been altered or is synthetically created. To better address this concern and inform viewers when the content they are watching is altered or synthetic, we start to introduce the following updates. Creator disclosure will require creators to disclose when they have created altered or synthetic content that's realistic, including AI tools. This will also include election content. We label realistic, altered, or synthetic election content that doesn't violate our policies to clearly indicate to viewers that some of the content was altered or synthetic. For elections, this label will be displayed in both the video player and the description and will surface regardless of the creator, political viewpoints, or language. While we remove content as we just discussed earlier, we also have systems in place to raise authoritative sources on our platform, including authoritative election information. Just as we work to raise authoritative content where accuracy and authoritativeness is the key, we also strive to reduce the spread of the content while not violating our policies can still misinform users in harmful ways. This might include conspiracy theories or content that brushes the line with what's acceptable. The last R of our responsibility framework is reward. Our business is unique as we have had a revenue sharing model, the YouTube Partner Program, and we send checks to eligible creators every month. We view monetization on our platform as a privilege. Creators must be accepted into white PP to be eligible to monetize their content. A key way creators make money is through ads displayed or streamed on their public videos, with 55% of the revenue going to creators. In order to ensure that we support a healthy digital advertising ecosystem, including political content, Google has a number of policies to support the same. These policies govern the content that is shown in advertisements across Google, which includes YouTube. These policies cover areas including silence period, data collection and use, misrepresentation, etc. More information on these policies can be found on the support link that we will attach in the description. Having understood about our policies and responsibility framework, let's talk about how to use YouTube. We recommend you approach YouTube from a long term perspective, as growing a devoted online following is similar to cultivating any significant relationship. It takes dedication and continuous effort to foster trust and loyalty. Imagine your online presence as the central hub of your communication, a place for ongoing dialogue and engagement, addressing concerns and sharing your successes. Let's first understand how to categorize and schedule different types of content. This will help you think about your strategy. First is hero content that includes highly produced videos or collaborations with other public figures. You can plan to have this content indicatively once a month. Then comes the hub content. This is the bread and butter of your channel. This will include regularly scheduled uploads and live streams that make viewers come back and subscribe. Lastly is the help content, which is your always on content aimed at answering FAQs, explaining ideas, and addressing news cycles. It is very important to schedule based on what is achievable and then stick to it. You want to set expectations for your audience, so it's crucial that you reliably express them. Consistency does not equal volume. It is far less important that you post frequently, but that you post on a reliable schedule. Keeping your content manageable is the key. YouTube is truly a multi format platform. Opportunities for channels to engage with their audience is multiple: VOD, live, shorts, and podcasting. VOD can help transform your channel into an elections hub. Live can provide real time information and analysis for your audience. Shorts can help you grow and reach new audiences, while podcasting allows you to lean back and deep dive in audio or video format and deepen engagement with your audience. Thinking within the Hero Hub Help framework, different formats of content can help you with ideas for your election coverage. Some of these include weekly coverage, behind the scenes, what audiences might not be getting from broadcasters, evergreen explainers, live streams of key event and rallies.
A lot of people exercise because they believe it will help them to lose
Georgia,
fat.
it's wonderful to welcome you to London.
Finally, a note on channel branding and appearance. Put your best foot forward when people come to your channel. Build your elections hub and identity by remembering your key elements to sustaining and building your core content. These include branding, channel banners, and rebranded avatars to share your social links and inform viewers on your content upload strategy. Title and thumbnails. Exceptional titles and thumbnails are greater than the sum of their parts. They work together really well to tell a story, kindle curiosity, share a sneak peek, and attract more viewers. And lastly, organizing your videos into collections or playlists can enable viewers to easily find and consume the content they want. Shorts is a new part to growth. As a format, it receives 2 billion logged in users watching it each month. And we find that many partners are seeing Shorts as a place to reach a new and differentiated audiences than their YouTube main audience. Think of Shorts as a place to reach audiences that you've not reached on YouTube. The beauty of Shorts is that it lends itself to experimentation, as audiences can easily stay on, move from creation, from content with little friction. Where do Shorts really fit in your strategy? Shorts is a great place to create and share content that has a potential to reach to a broad audience. Plan for your Shorts to be capable of standalone viewing during elections. Experimentation and Shorts go in hand, as Shorts creates a safe place to test out new formats. Shorts can also be a great home for highlighting your most popular content pieces from your long form. With Shorts, there are two ways to get some easy wins. First, with clip and trim, you can leverage your existing long form content and create snackable clips using the trim feature. Second, there is no bigger opportunity to deploy your evergreen archive content. There could be explainers or there could be other pieces where you put a lot of effort that are still relevant to audiences today, and these can be converted into shorts and will be able to give a new life to this content. Creating a content plan helps you align your content with your channel's growth and goals. This strategic approach can help you create consistently, stay focused, and optimize your resources. There are three ways to live stream. Mobile is good for vlogging and quick updates. Webcam is great to quickly live stream from your computer. And lastly, going live with an encoder gives you more customization and control on your output than a simple mobile or a webcam stream. Remember to be nimble when you're going live. Whether it's breaking news or a live stream of the debate, going live empowers you to bypass the time consuming phases of filming. This not only speeds up your content delivery, but also allows you to respond in real time, processing news and information alongside your audiences. Finally, remember to always give adequate time to plan your live streams in advance and let your viewers know what is on your calendar. Thank you for your time to listen and engage with us during elections. We are excited to partner with you and help you create responsible content this election cycle. Let's review what we have discussed: how we uphold our responsible platform, how you can make the most of YouTube, and what are our policies, including community guidelines, copyright, and ad friendly policies. Lastly, if you have any questions about YouTube or facing any issues, please email to us at yt-in-civics@google.com. Thank you for your time, and we hope that you found this training session useful.